Okay, all right. I think if you see yesterday, right, let me try to open the HTML notes. Yeah, if I see this, let me try to zoom in a bit so that you can not see it. Okay, so now we have seen yesterday a lot of things in related to HTML. I know we have seen about yesterday, we talked about links, we talked about attribute, class, and ID, and then there is list. And today we'll talk about text formatting. Okay, very important concept in HTML. I mean, just if you know, let me give you an analogy of it. Let's say I will try to open a Word document. Okay, and this is a Word document. And let's say I have a certain text. Maybe I'll copy this text. Just copy that, paste it. So what you observe here is a plain text that is used in a Word document. Let's say I want to make it as this one as a bold. Okay. And then two, three words as underline. Okay. And then I want to make a certain text as mark it as highlighted. Okay, let's do something like this. And then there might be certain text I want to make it as italics. Okay, something slanting in format. So what you seen just now is nothing but the text formatting. Okay, so making the content of the web page as bold, making them as underlined, marking them with a certain highlight. Okay, and then making it as a italics format. This is all what you see is nothing but a text formatting. Now with this background, let's go ahead and see how the same things can we do it in a word in a web page as well. Okay, in a website as well. And for that, let's jump on to Visual Studio Code. Hope you guys are using Visual Studio Code pretty often, because as and when we keep learning new things, I want you to go back and practice that on the same day itself. Okay, so that the concepts are clear in your mind. You can go to this skillsam.com notes. We have HTML notes. It is readily available. Go through these each notes and then take wherever there are examples, just copy them and try to execute on the Visual Studio Code so that your concepts are very clear on the day itself. And now let me clear this first. And there is a shortcut in Visual Studio Code, that is Emmet abbreviation. What we call it as, we'll try to create a boilerplate, which is exclamation sign followed by a tab key, or a tab out key, or a tab key that is there on your keyboard. Just type it. You will have the base boilerplate, HTML boilerplate ready. And we have named this file as index.html. Now, let's go ahead and see how can we achieve the same text formatting that we did in a Word document in a HTML. There are certain tags that comes with it. And what they can achieve, they can make it the things in bold, italics, emphasize. Okay, emphasize is nothing but in making them look like a bold text. There is small, large text you can make. You can insert a text, you can delete a text, you can make a subscript of a text and a superscript of a text and all that. Now let's consider one example. Maybe I'll take the same text here, a simple text. I'll just copy this text. Now we'll create a p tag, okay, which is nothing but for a paragraph tag. Inside this paragraph tag, I'll add this text, whatever that I have copied. And suppose, and now if I run this using the open with live server, it will automatically open it in a live server. And this is how the text would look like. A simple paragraph text, nothing fancy about it. It's a simple output, okay, that we saw based on this code. Now, suppose I want to make these two words as bold. For that, there is a tag in HTML called as strong tag. Okay. strong tag is used to make the things look bold, okay, or highlight them. And if I save it, text and formatting, it has an open tag and a closed tag, which is a strong tag. If you see the output here, this particular two words, text and format, appear in bold and rest of the text is unchanged. Okay, so that is the usage of a strong tag. Then comes something called as emphasize. Suppose if I take the same paragraph and copy that and paste it, and let's say instead of strong, I can make em is for emphasize tag. Em stands for emphasis or emphasize. So what does it do? It will make the strings in italics. Okay, text formatting, if you see, this is in italics, and rest of the text, if you can see, it is normal. First is the usage of strong tag, and here in the second paragraph we have used a emphasize tag. Okay, and now let's say we want to do something called as underline. How do we do an underline? It can be done using a tag called u tag. U tag is for underline. It will open a u tag, close a u tag. So this particular text, which is two words, will now appear in underline. Okay, this is underlying the text, which is basically formatting the text to appear as an underline. Now, with the same thing, someone joined, let me admit them. And for the same thing, if we go ahead and say, let's say we want to make it as strong like a bold itself. Bold is also a tag that is there, which is represented by B. Okay, B is can also be used as bold tag, and it is, the appearance would be similar to what we see in strong tag. Let's say I'll open this. Yeah, if you see, the strong tag and the bold tag both looks the same. Okay, so the strong tag is this one, and the bold tag, which is B tag, is also the same thing. Now, with that being said, and what else we can do? Let's say I want to make something as a subscript or a superscript. I mean, a subscript and superscript. Two things are there. So, what is a subscript? Subscript is nothing but the one that you will see in chemical formulas, right? Like sulfuric acid formula is H2SO4. Okay, so H2SO4, now 2 appears as a subscript. Okay, or H2O, so the formula for water. Okay, the 2 appears as a subscript there. So we want to do something that. So how can we do that? We can do that using a tag in HTML that is called as SUB, or SUP is for superscript. Let's use HUB. H, then we use a subscript tag, which is represented by SUB. Let's say SUB, close the tag, then write 2, and then O. So what this will do, it will create a formula called H2O. If you see this, guys, where H is appearing normal, O is appearing in normal, but 2 is appearing in the subscript format, SUB. So how can we do this kind of formatting? By using the tag called SUB, that is for subscript. Okay, understood, guys, so far? ಅರ್ಥ ಆತ್ರಿ ಇದು?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now there is also another tag that we can, yeah, and now we can do something like we want to do superscript. Okay, how can we do, like, one solid example is we can see is equal to mc square, the formula itself. We want to put a formula on your web page. Okay, so E is equal to mc square. Square, if you see, it is a superscript, it is a power of, right? For that, what we need to do is we need to use a tag called as SUP, that is superscript. Let's do that. E is equal to MC square. Now, if I use no tags like this, if I just see this output, it looks like not MC2. It doesn't look like MC square. So for that, we need to use a tag which is called as superscript. Inside the superscript tag, you write 2 here. This is a open tag and this is a closed tag. Okay. And now you can see E is equal to MC square. Here the 2 appears at the top. Okay. This is what we use. This is the usage of subscript. This is the usage of superscript tag. Everything what we have done so far is nothing but text formatting. Text formatting in order to represent that on a web page. Okay. Or a website. Now, what else is there? Let's go back to our notes and see. Strong tag we saw bold tag, we also saw I tag. I tag is also used for italics. It is same as your emphasis tag. I can go ahead and say, put this instead of EM tag, I can use I tag to put that words in italics. It is the same thing that we see here. So if you see this I tag and also the emphasis tag, both look same. Okay, no difference in that. And what else we can see? Emphasis tag, we saw mark is another tag. Why is this mark used? Mark is used to highlight. Okay, like the way we saw in a Word document, it will highlight the text. Okay, if you see, this is how the mark will look. Here we can see this particular text is using the tag called mark. It is nothing but it will highlight the text in a yellow color. Okay, it's an open tag and closed tag. Within the tag we have this enclosed content, which is text formatting, and that is the reason you can see this getting highlighted here. Okay, and what else, guys? So what else we have? Yeah, small text, underline we saw, and there is small text is something that you will see comparative the rest of the text. This text appears small in size. Okay, what I mean by that is, let me show you. Here we can use small tag, SMALL. Then let's see the output. The output, if you see, the font size of this text is larger than the text that is highlighted in small. So we can make this as small text, SMALL. So appear the font as slightly diminished in size. Okay, so we saw emphasis tag, we saw strong tag, emphasis tag, underline tag, U tag, which, and we also saw B tag, which is also for bold tag. Here we saw subscript tag, SUB tag. Here we saw superscript tag, SUP tag, and this is also I tag for italics. And then there is mark tag to highlight that, and also small tag to make your font slightly diminished in size compared to the rest of the text in the paragraph where it is used. Okay, and this is all about first level of text formatting. Okay, and the same examples can be seen here. Brazil has won most World Cup titles of all time. Okay, so Brazil is getting highlighted in bold and football is getting highlighted in bold. That is the reason these two are appearing in bold. And the next is, I am glad you weren't late. Okay, so here emphasis tag is used for glad word and italics tag is used for late. So both will appear in slanting italics format, glad as well as late. Okay, and the next is a mark tag, which is Leo Messi is the goat of in the football. Goat is nothing but greatest of all time. So now mark appears in yellow color. Okay, and the next is, this is a demo smaller text. So here the small tag is being used, so that is the reason this size of the font of this smaller tag appears in diminished compared to the other text as such. Now, with that learning, we'll also have certain other text formatting tags that are helpful and utilized in HTML. Those are called del tag. Okay, del is for delete, and then there is insert tag, which is nothing but a word has been inserted, something has been removed and inserted. And then there is subscript, superscript. We already saw that. Let's take these two examples: the delete and insert. Okay, now let's say I'll take a word. Okay. Let's say fox is the king of the forest. Okay, which is not the case. So now what I want to do is I want to delete this fox and insert lion instead of that. Okay, how I can do that? I need to use a tag called delete. All right, for that, del. Okay, and inside that I can write fox, and then in order to insert the new line, I need to use new word. I need to use ins tag. So here I will use ins, which is stands for insert, and inside this tag I will write lion. Okay, so what the output would look now? The fox will be strike through. Strike through is nothing but, if you see this word document, if I want to strike through this, what I'll do, I'll use this. Okay, this is strike through. This is strike through. Okay, so whenever I use delete in word in a del tag in a html file, this will be strike through, and insert is newly inserted word. Okay, now let's see this output. Now let's see, this is the output. So what happens here? The strike through deleted will be strike through, and lion which will be inserted will be underlined and will appear in bold. It will be underlined as well as it will appear in bold. This is the usage of insert and delete tags, ins and del tag. So guys, are you clear this the understanding of
Yes,
insert
sir.
and delete?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
super.
sir.
Now let's go ahead with the new understanding of some other tags. There are some examples, you can refer to them in html notes. Refer these and try to execute. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನ copy ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, and then once you copy it, right, you can just paste it in your Visual Studio Code and check the output for yourself. Okay, all these outputs will be available to you. All right, now let's go ahead and see the next set of tags, which is called Q tag. As the name suggests, Q is for quotation, okay, inline quotation, and ABB is for abbreviation. Abbreviation is nothing but for a short forms, right? Like for example, if you have something called as PIN. PIN is postal index number. Pin code antaralri, postal index number. Okay, that is PIN. Or there is also in US there is something called as VIN. VIN is vehicle identification number. These are all the abbreviations, and they are the short forms or the acronyms, what we call it as. And then there is a text which is for bidirectional movement. If you have a text something, you want to change its direction, you can use it by a BDO tag. Cite is something for citation. Citation, what is this citation mean? Citation is like something you want to give the credit to whoever has written a certain creative work. Like for example, someone has written a big essay on water pollution in and around certain industries. Okay, they have written an essay, that guy has written an essay, and if we are using it somewhere, we need to give a citation or a reference to that writer, saying so and so person has written this. It's giving a reference or a credit to a author or a work done by some creative person. Okay, that is citation usually. And then there is a block quote. Block quote is all about referring, that putting into it will look similar to a description list, like you have a text and inside that there will be a subtext written there. Okay, now let's take this example Q here. Q is Martin Luther King Jr., and Q is for quotation, which is, it is starting from here, which is injustice. What does Martin Luther King said? Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Okay, that is the quote he has given. So we have put that in a quotation mark. It starts Q tag and it ends Q tag, and that is the reason you will see this as an output. Okay, the output, if I go, quotation mark starts, quotation mark ends. We can go ahead, I can just go ahead and copy this and show it to you in our Word document also. That is also fine. So if you see this, Martin Luther King once said, "Injustice anywhere is justice is a threat to justice everywhere." So this is a quotation mark, double quotes. What you see here, this is done by a tag called Q tag. Now, And the next is abbreviation. Abbreviation is for short forms, right? You can write like HTML and then say hypertext markup language. This is how you do that. What is that tag? This ABBR tag. Now let me take this one up and show you a little bit here. So what is happening is, here there is a p tag. Okay, p tag has got a abbreviation tag ABBR. Inside that abbreviation tag we have written a abbreviation text. Now let me give you one another example. Let's, because that example is already there for you. Let's say I want to write PIN. Okay, now I want to show what is this PIN: postal index number. Okay, let's say this is a PIN. This PIN stands for postal index code or postal index number. And now I want to show this in an abbreviation. Now if I just see this output, this is how the output looks: pin followed by postal index number. Now, or pan also we can go ahead and give the number, the same like pan card number. Here, how do I do an abbreviation utilization? So let's say I want to use an abbreviation tag ABBR, and if I hit enter, abbreviation tag opens, abbreviation tag closes. But one important thing about the abbreviation tag is there is one mandatory attribute that is associated with abbreviation tag, that is called title. Title is what? Title is this explanation that you want to give. What is that? If I go ahead and copy that and put this in title abbreviation, and this ABBR, I can put that in the abbreviation tag. What is that I did here? Inside the paragraph tag, we have added an abbreviation tag. This is the abbreviation tag. It is open and close. And abbreviation tag contains an enclosed content called pin, and the title will be postal index number. So let's see what the output will look like. So the output would look something like this. Okay, so what is this output? Output would look something like, if I hover the text over it, which means hover the mouse over it. Like, what is hovering the mouse over the text? If there is a cursor here, if you see here, now there is an arrow pointing, and if I take that arrow over the text, it is changing. Okay, it is changing to selection arrow. Now in the same way, if I hover the text over the abbreviation tag, it will highlight or it will show the title what is there for it, which is postal index number. And this is the usage of abbreviation tag. It will define or expand that abbreviation in the title attribute, and the abbreviation always have a dotted underline to show that it is an abbreviation tag. You need to hover the mouse over the text in order to show the title. So did you guys see this?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
are you? Yeah, okay, good. So now what else we have? Then we have video. Video is nothing but you change the direction. Like for example, I have a text here. Let's say I want to write skills app. Now if I use a video skill,
Yes.
okay, so I can use same skillsam, and now I want to use BDO. Okay, BDO tag, and inside this BDO tag I want to write just skillsam. Now just see what the BDO will do. It will change the direction of the text. So this is how, if you see what happens here, there is a change. There is a change in, sorry, just a second. Yeah, yeah. If you see, where is that? Have I written it correctly? Yeah, I have written it correctly. I don't know why this is not taking. Okay, just a second, just a second. Yeah, I need to change the attribute as well, right? There is an attribute called direction here. BDO. Why is that BDO not taking? Yeah, yeah, now it is taking. Okay. Yeah. Now if you see BDO has an attribute called direction. So what is this direction talks about? Direction is left to right or right to left. Like for example, if I say left to right, okay, right to left, this is what I have done it. RTL is right to left. And if I write skills am here, if you see the output, the direction has changed. What is that? SKILLZAM. It has reversed its direction. Okay, that is the usage of BDO. And again, I can change this to left to right as well, left to right, and that will change. No change in that because that is how it is appearing currently. So this will change the direction of the text, and usual will be right to left if you want to reverse the direction. Okay, like this. That is the usage of this particular BDO, which is nothing but you will it will help you to change the direction. Okay. Now what else is there? Now citation is like let's take this example, Mona Lisa example. So what this text will say, there is a paragraph. Okay, inside the paragraph we are giving certain text. The Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci is one of the most valuable paintings in the world. Okay, so Mona Lisa everyone might have seen. Now in order to cite this, I'll put that in a citation text, CITE. Usually the look and feel of the citation text would be in italics. Okay, it will be written in italics, and that is the reason you can see that text in italics. If you see here, it will be in italics text. But the more powerful usage of this is because it has a very particular name associated with it, like a CITE. It becomes more of a semantic tag and helps you to identify whenever you are working in a web scraping. Okay, web scraping is again a technology or a technique where you can utilize the source code that is there available for each HTML page, and you can identify the text by their tags. Okay, just use that tag, and if you see the citation tag, I want to pick whatever is there in the citation tag. That is when it will be useful as well. Okay, we'll come to that web scraping and all, maybe not here, that's a separate discussion altogether, but I'm just throwing you some usage of it. Okay, now this is all we can do in text formatting. Okay, a lot of things that we learned here. One is related to strong tag, bold tag, italics tag, emphasis tag, mark tag, underline tag. There is a small tag which reduces the font size, and then there is a del tag which is for deletion of the text so that you want to track changes in your document. And then there is a insertion tag, or you are inserting a new word or a text or a line or a sentence. And then there is a subscript tag, and then there is a superscript tag. Whenever we want to use it in a chemical formulas or some other formulas, we can use these two tags depending on the usage. And then there is a quote tag, abbreviation tag, video tag, citation tag. Okay, all these were meant to change a text format. Okay, so that is about text formatting. And next the question comes, sir, this is all fine, but how about a computer code? Like for example, there might be a website, okay, which talks about only the code. Okay, so there's some development text. Now for example, let's say python.org. Let's go to this website. Now what this website says, now if you can see here, there is a text. The normal text on the web page looks like this, but whenever you write a certain code, the code is looking very beautiful here. Okay, it is looking that as if some code is written. How can we achieve that in our website? What is used behind it? So there is a tag associated to represent the computer code. Okay, so now what are those tags? There is a tag called pre-tag, there is a tag called code tag, and that is what we are going to see in our next topic. Okay, how to represent a computer code on a web page. Okay, this is a web page. It's a web page, home page of a python.org. In that you are seeing this code written here. This is a Python code. Basically def is for a definition of a function. You are trying a Fibonacci series here. Okay, you are taking two numbers, you are increasing the prior number, it will list the entire Fibonacci series here, which is up to 1000 numbers. Okay, this is what the code is. Now how do we represent this code in your HTML? What tag need to be used? Okay, now for that we have a topic called as computer code. Okay, so the number of elements are available. One, as I said, there is a tag called code, there is a tag called pre, there is a tag called var is for variables, and then there is a tag called kbd. Okay, this is for keyboard. Okay, inputs, taking the inputs from a keyboard. Okay, and then there is a samp tag. Samp is basically to enclose a inline text within it. Okay, we'll see that one by one. The first and foremost, let me show you a tag called pre-tag. Now let me clear all this first. Open up a new boilerplate and then let's start it here. Now, suppose you have a text that need to be written in a certain format. Like for example, let's say I have a paragraph tag and I want to write a text which will look something like this. Okay, I have arrow, then I'm using these arrows or simple, let's say 0, and I'm going to give this one, and below that I have, okay, then I have this one. So I'm just simply drawing a dog or a monkey in a layman terms. Okay, nothing fancy about it, just it has got two legs in the front and two legs in the back, and this is how the output would look like. Okay, this is my dog. Okay, this is a dog that is represented. It has a head here, and this is the body of the dog and the small tail, and there are two legs in the front, two legs in the back. Now I have put this text um, in a p tag, which is a paragraph tag, and if I see the output, let's see how the output looks like. So this is how the output looks like, which means what I'm expecting is this way, but what my output shows is something 0 followed by these 5 hyphen symbols and then front slash backslash front slash backslash, but this is not what I was expecting. So in order to show the tag in this format, we can use a tag which is called as pre-tag. Okay, there is a tag called pre-tag. Pre-tag represents pre-formatted text, which is to be presented exactly as it is written. Okay, so whatever you write in whatever the format you write, even the white spaces are also respected here. Okay, now this is the usage of pre-tag. Now what I will do is, instead I'll just copy the same code, I'll put it below. Instead of p-tag, I'll make it as a pre-tag. Pre. That's it, no change, everything looks same. All right, let me go a little bit back so that they are arranged in the same. Yeah, now if you see the pre-tag and p-tag, both looks same. Now if I see the output, because this is there, why? Because this is white space is taking it up. Yeah. Or the best way to do this is just take your pre tag just above it. That should be fine. Just below it, that should be fine. Okay. So now why this was taking the other way around is because these spaces are there, right? They are also respected in pre-tag. Whatever space you write, it will be there in the space. Now, if I want to use the same tag here, then what I need to do, like for example, this tag itself I want to use. Now, what I need to do here, you have a tag here. Instead of this, what I need to do, I need to put a pre-tag just above it so that the spaces are also respected. I'll remove this, okay, and I'll remove p-tag. Instead of this, I'll close it here. If you see this one, now the output looks same, okay, and whatever the space you are seeing this is because of this space that is there. Even the spaces are respected in p-tag, whereas here no space is respected. Here it is gone, okay, everything starts from first column itself and it will be continuing, so all these spaces will be moved here. Okay, that is the reason these spaces are not, white spaces are not respected. It will be appearing right here. Okay, that is the reason the p or a paragraph tag looks something like this in the output, whereas in pre tag it appears what is there here. Okay, understood guys, the usage of pre tag?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's say I want to use a code.
Yes, sir.
Let's say that. Now this is interesting. Suppose there is a code. Let's say I will write one code. Let's say there is a p tag. Let, or maybe let's say def. Def is for definition. Some numbers. This is a Python function that I'm writing. Maybe number one comma number two, and inside this Python function, I will go ahead and return num1 plus num2. Okay, and then here I am going to call the function which is, before calling the function,
Sir.
let me create n1 comma n2, or n1 is equal to 12, and then n2 is equal to 13. I have initialized the numbers and then I'll call the function num, then I'll pass these two numbers 12 comma 30. Okay, now this is a simple code. Now if I see the output of this code, how it will look, this is how it looks in the paragraph tag. Now I don't want this to be looked like something that doesn't looks like a program. For that, what we need to use is a code tag along with a pre-tag. Pre-tag, why we need? We need to respect the white spaces, and code tag because it appears as a program itself. Okay, now let's just change it to code. Now let's see what will happen. Okay, so this is a code tag open, code tag close. Now let's see. So now if you see, sorry, I wanted you to compare that. One second. Let me put this in p tag, and below I'll just paste the code tag. So the same text, the same program, there is a program, there is a function definition, and then there is a function call. All right, maybe I can say this as n1 and n2. Okay. All right, now both are same functions. Now let's see the output. So what is happening? This font is appearing different than this font because this is showing that it is a code rather than any other text format. It is slightly changing the font size and the font format in order to represent that it is a code. Now, if I want to respect these white spaces, I again need to use another tag which is called as a pre-tag inside it. If I go ahead and use the pre-tag and then open the pre-tag and then close the pre-tag, the pre-tag, and then I will close the pre-tag here. All right. So there is a code tag which opens and closes, and there is a pre-tag which will respect the white spaces. Now, if you see the way this will look in a paragraph and the way this will look inside the code and pre-tag is totally different. This looks like some code is written, okay, and it respects every definition, because in Python, right, this indentation is very important, because that is where it will consider this as a function. All right, because it needs this indentation. We'll come to that later, when if at all we study Python and later. So this is the usage of code and pre-tag. Are you guys understanding this? Okay, good. Now, what is this variable tag?
Yes,
Variable
sir.
tag is just to highlight that a particular, in this, let's say, uh, here, let's say here, uh, num1 and num2 are the parameter variables. Okay, so these num1 and num2 are the parameter variables. And how do I represent the variable? I need to put a var tag, and here I need to put a var tag. So now, how this output would look like in a var tag? Var tag will highlight that as a variable and put that in italics. Okay, that is the usage of var tag. Var tag is to show that within the program there are certain variables being used, and those can be represented using var, variable tag. Okay, understood, guys? And now let's KBD is just to represent
Yes,
that
sir.
it is keyboard. Now I will come to that. I'll show you. And here are some examples like pre-tag. Example to demo the pre-tag. We are creating a humanoid kind of a body here, a head, and it has got two hands. These are two legs. I am Codeman, web developer, mobile developer, data analyst, and this is what is written, okay, inside the pre-tag. And if you see the output, that is how the output also will look like. Okay, and that is because of the pre-tag. And here there is a code tag demonstration. We have written a JavaScript code here. Okay, const para document dot query selector. This is a DOM query selector we have written. We are selecting the query by a paragraph. All paragraphs are selected and stored in this array. And here, whenever any paragraph is clicked, you are calling this function, which is alert you just clicked. This is the code. And now if you see the output, that is how it looks like a code that is appearing. All right, and the next is a variable tag. Here goals code is highlighted, and that is the reason the variable tag will appear in italics format. Now here are the two other things, that is KBD for inputting the keyboard, and also for SHAMP, which is for a sample what is coming out of output. Now this is what we did here, right? We might have seen in the keyboard, we are saying ping google.com. This is what, and this is what, this is your keyboard entries you have entered into the keyboard, and this is the sample that is coming out as an output, and you need to represent that using keyboard strokes are these ping google.com, and the output that you have received, you need to put that in SAMP, and entire thing is enclosed in pre, so that the output looks in the same format, and that is the reason this is the output that it is going to get. Okay, understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
So what you saw right now is text formatting and computer code. Next is time. Time is very simple. There is only one tag called time tag, and this has got an attribute called date attribute. And date attribute, right, it indicates the time or the date format. Like here in this example, you have a time format here, open tag, and this is a close tag. It has got an attribute called date time, and you, if you write this as this format, which is a standard simple date, this is YYY MM, and this is DD. This is month and this is day. And now whatever the text you put it here, it will be read in this format. What it means is the output would look like this, but behind the scene, the tag would store that in this format. Whenever you refer to this time tag, it will be appearing in this format. Okay, you can use this format and show the output somewhere else. Okay, that is the usage of this uh, uh, date time attribute. And here the attribute says just year and month, so just represent year and month, and whatever is taken from here, it will be shown in this format. And then just month and date, so here is the month and here is the date. Okay, it will be in this format. So there are a lot of things, there are different variations that you have. You can refer to these HTML notes to see the uh, basically what you need to concentrate on is this format, the attribute is important in the time tag. Rest all, it will appear similar to any tag that will show the output, but what goes behind the scene is this attribute. How you are storing that internally in the HTML is using this format, which is date time attribute. All right. Now, next is semantic tags. Okay, semantic tags again, as the name itself suggests, semantic is about meaning. Okay, semantic is gives lot meaning to the tags, like we have already seen, right? By just looking at the tag name itself, you can say specifically what is the usage of it. Like header, header is a semantic tag. So nav is for navigation bar or a menu bar. Then main section of the web page. Then there is an article, which means it represents a self-contained article. Okay, and then there is a section can be written as a standalone sections. Okay, and then division is a container that has a flow of contents within it. That is one division. Section can have multiple divisions. Okay, and then details is something like when you click on the details, the summary will be shown, something like this. If I show you an example, yeah. Now if you have details is personal insurance, but the moment you click here, this is the summary. Okay, so this is called the details, and if you click inside, and this is the summary. Okay, that is the usage of details tag, details and the summary. So details creates a disclosed widget in which the information is visible only when the widget is toggled. Toggled is when you click or unclick it. If you click it, it will open. If you click it again, it will close. Okay. And then summary is completely, it will all be the details about that. It will be detailed description about that detail that is enclosed, just like I have shown you an example. And aside is somewhere, you might have seen websites, right? A website might like, let me zoom out, and if you go to a blog section, okay, let's say I go to the blog section, and whatever you see these on a sidebar menu kind of things, right, these are called asides. You can put the asides here and this kind of sections. Okay, and we utilize this aside section to represent that, to represent the aside semantics. And then there is a footer which appears at the bottom of the any web page. All right, so good. I mean, it's 8:53, guys. I think let's give it a stop. Tomorrow we'll see this example in detail. and I want you guys to go ahead and take these notes and take these each individual examples and open the Visual Studio Code and type and learn about it. Okay, do as much as practice you want, because this is the time you need to do it. Until and unless you open and solve yourself, you are not going to be perfect in whatever I teach. Okay, my teaching will only be helpful to you if you practice it on the day to day basis. Okay, I cannot stress enough of it. Until you do it with your own hands, it is of no use. Okay, so make sure I want you to practice, and once you practice that, it will be remembered for your life. All right, thanks guys.